What's up, guys? Today we are finally back with our tower defense series. It has been so long since we have got to this project. And yeah, so today what we're gonna do is we are going to make our cache finally, and we can finally do our upgrades. Maybe we won't be able to reach that far today, but anyways, it's good news that we got it back to our Battle Royale series, and so let's move on. So I haven't made any changes since, so yeah, we have our project. We have no difference. We can see our things and all. And today, to our description, we are going to add costs. Let's see, our turret 1. We don't need anything for that yet. With our upgrade 1, and what we're going to need is a green text. So I'm going to sort of go like that, or actually maybe a little bit darker, and I'm going to write cost, and I'm going to do 75. And you know what, it's sort of boring just watching me choosing the cost and all, so let's skip to our main part. So guys, finished my labelings with my cost 75, 125, 150, and 175. So now if we go, it will label our cost. Pretty cool. Now what we're gonna do is for our turrets, we are going to actually write it on our turret backboard since, we're gonna have nothing there. With our first one, I'm gonna do cost of 100, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and give it a simple outline of 2. Let's shrink it down, put it somewhere like here. And with our second one, I'm gonna give it the cost of 175. Pretty nice, and let's check it out if we match up. And if you see, it doesn't really match up, so you're gonna just fix it like in the spot, because you can see how it looks like. And here's the tip, you can use the arrow keys to move it more accurately, and also it's nice stuff to know. So there you go, now it looks good, and it'll automatically do the sliding thing because it's a one thing with the backboard now, so pretty cool again. Now what we're going to do is we are going to paint a new sprite and name it values. And with this sprite, we are going to contain all those like money and stuff, like what wave are we on, like how much money we have, all those like numeric stuff. So like all the numbers we've got. And it's pretty simple how to do that. Let's actually this has to be a 1, not a 0, so let's get a 1. And you are going to duplicate it, duplicate it till you get to 10. So there you go. With your 10, you are going to write 0. And then downwards, you're going to do 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So after we've got that, now what we're going to need is an extra costume of a money sign, since we are obviously not going to put it in our background. Like, we can't just have another sprite for a single costume. So we're going to create it as a clone in this sprite. Now, because I want to, I am going to give it a 1 layer of outline for this money sign. Now I'm going to do when green flag is clicked, go hide, and we can go to the variables and make a variable called digit. Yeah, there you go. Click OK, and remember to do for this sprite only. So let's set our digits to 0, and now obviously we need our cash variable since we now have our monies. And you have to repeat like 5 times, change digits by 1, and let's go ahead and create clone of myself. We're going to put it under the change digits by, and you're going to get when I start as a clone forever. And before the forever, let's get a show, since the main thing has to be hiding and the clones should be showing, except for a few that aren't supposed to show. So let's go ahead and set size to a size you want. I'll choose 120. And let's go to the front layer, and let's go get a go-to block. With your go-to, I already actually have my position. With your Y, I have chose 160. Now I'm going to get a plus or a minus if you want. I'm going to do plus 150, and I'm going to times 15, and that space is empty. You're going to put in your digits variable. Now what I'm going to do is get an if-else statement and put a show on the bottom and hide on the top. So it's sort of like that. Hide in the if, show in the else. Now what we're going to do is to get a switch costume to letter digits. So you're going to duplicate that. You're going to duplicate that again, but this time change this to the cash. Now what we're going to do is get a less than. So if the length of cash is less than my very own digit, we're going to hide. Else, we are going to show. And obviously, we don't have a value yet. So if we were to just go ahead and set our cash to 9999, we would get like this. So there you go. Pretty simple, pretty cool. That's pretty nice. And actually, what I'm going to do is to give all of my numbers outline, because it will be able to make it so it looks thicker and more like visible. Because if it's too skinny and all. Now I've got the outlines, very thin, but still makes it so it looks a lot better. Now what we are going to do is to get a set cash to 100 when the game starts. So sort of like that. Let's clean up, and that is all the blocks. Or actually, you could do is set digits to 0. It really doesn't matter, but make sure it's not a positive value. And we are going to create clone of myself. And we gotta do if else, and you're gonna put this into else, if equals 0, and we're going to do our digits. And if it is, then we are going to go to y of 160 and x of 150. And we're going to switch our costume to our $sign and show. So that is pretty simple. Now if we go, yeah, so that's not supposed to happen. And reason why that is happening is because this is named a 10 and it's supposed to be named 0. So there you go. So we got our money done, and with our money done, now what we gotta do is to actually make it so we have to buy turrets. And, that's not so hard. You can just, make it so it decreases, just check if you have enough money, and that is all. Like, it's so simple. So, yeah, let's get it done. Right. We want to get it done fast. Now what you're going to do is actually get this code out and add a comment. Don't write anything, you don't have to. It's just so you can mark the blocks. And what you will do is if statement, if costume name is equal to 1, so let's get an equal sign. So let's get a costume name, just duplicate that one. And we'll get an if else statement, cause I chose my first turret's cost to be 100. I am going to do if my cash is greater than 99. Because if it's greater than 99, it just means 100 or higher. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a block. I'm going to name it by turret. And we're going to do type and cost. So pretty simple. Now what I'm going to do is by turret costume name, but input 100 in there. So you see the cost is 100. And in the else, you are going to broadcast not enough money. So you're going to drag it in here. And that's good. So let's duplicate that. Put this into 2, and let's do 174, which basically means it's 175 or higher. And I'm going to write 175. Pretty cool, pretty easy. Now what I'm going to do is to get this block along. And I'm going to delete the comment since we don't have to mark it anymore. And what we're going to do is add type and mouse action to type. And then we are going to set our cash to times. You know what? Let's just do change. So let's change our cash by cost times -1. So pretty cool, pretty nice, and we're gonna put that here. And if you see, we have $100 and we can't buy this because we don't have enough money. But if we click this, we will be able to buy it, which is pretty cool. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the labels, right? And what we're going to do is, let's see, yeah, we don't have it. And what we're gonna do is we can just duplicate our first costume since it's one of the most cleanest and all. And let's name it Not Enough. And let's do this not enough money or already bought. So yeah, that's nice. And we can put that there. And what we could do is to actually change this to when I receive labels. So like that. And what we could do is when green flag is clicked, broadcast labels. And that's pretty simple, right? And then let's do when I receive not enough money, we gotta stop other scripts in the sprite. Since this is a forever loop and it'll just hide or show my label, which we don't want, and it'll just switch to a random costume. So we don't want that. Let's stop that script and switch to not enough. Wait 1 second and broadcast label again. So now if we click this, not enough money or already bought. Pretty cool. So like that, we got it done. It was pretty simple. And I don't think we can get really into the upgrades today, but we will be able to continue in the next episode because it's almost very similar to this, just a little bit more complicated since we have to use something that is not used in the turrets. But anyways, yeah, that was pretty nice. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. If you didn't enjoy it, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. If that doesn't make sense, just hit the subscribe button and the like button. And yeah, I'll be back with another good video, and peace.